Mook got the
What
keys,
up, bro? Salvation. Hey, you got many minds. You think about salvation, get the dance. In my flesh vein, it's my heart not trouble, I will pain. We trust in Abba, he the one that kill your problems. We thanking Abba, now we know about that lava. The streets of gold, walking on that road, I can't sell my soul. Hell no, I'ma be the light everywhere I go. Ain't no vaccine up in the temple. The devil know that the most I dwelling in you. They tryna shoot you up, that should really offend you.
My cry for mercy as I call on you for help, as I lift up my hands towards your most holy place. I just wanna be worthy. I just wanna be
Shalawam, shalawam, shalawam. The water for being here. Before we get started, let's give all praises, honor, glory, esteem to the Father, the Ancient of Days, the Giver of life, the Taker of life, our Father, Yahawah, Allah, right? And His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Once again, the water for being here, all of the Ahchyam, all of the ahcwathyam, the brothers and sisters scattered to the four corners of the earth. Thank you, the water, for being here. If you feel that this message is edifying at the end or when you're watching it, please share it and do the ministry a favor. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, and subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when we go live and deliver these messages from on high, from the Most High, through the Rakat, through the Spirit. Giving praises again to Him on this beautiful first day of the week, right? The Spirit put it on me to come back forward and bring out this message about wisdom, the gifts that's given to us, right? The only reason we have understanding and wisdom in the scriptures that we read is because the Most High has given us that understanding from on high. So we give Him praises and we glorify His name down here in this earth that He has sent us to. As people are still entering and as we're getting prepared, as you know me, I always like to play a short video. This one is called The Awakening, and the link is in the description. If you want to listen to it yourself, if you want to see it for yourself, just go to the description box and the link is in there. So I'm going to play this short video. And as always, we're going to dive right into the scriptures right after that. So here we go. I'm going to play this short video. And then after that, we're going to dive into the scriptures. Let me just go here, put it on the screen. There we go.
Out the pain, out the silence. We the ones that history tried to erase. Now the breath back in the bones. Now the truth back in the tone. Rise up. This the awakening crew. We rise again. Out the struggle, out the sin. Light in the dark, truth from within. The King of Stars, where we begin. We rise again. No change, hold where faith lives. Keep the law, walk in the wind. Story in where it all begins. From Nashville to Memphis, yeah, I walk that line. What a soul me struggle and pain refined. Now I'm in OKC, still preaching heat. From the south to the plains, the message repeat. Every mile I move, it's prophecy proof. Every word I drop, scripture in the booth. They said we lost, now we chosen seeds. Planting truth in the field where the spirit bleed. From the Delta blues to the Bible tone, I'm Ezekiel speaking to the dry bone. Cry loud, fear not, that's my cause. Sound a trumpet, I want them all. No fame, no flex, just grace and grind. Law in my heart, redemption in mind. They tryna deal with the most high lit, but the south they glowing, this flame legit. We rise again. Out the struggle, out the sin. Light in the dark, truth from within. The kingdom starts when we begin. We rise again. No change, hold where faith been. Keep the law, walk in the wind. Yeah. Judah, Ephraim, Levi stand. One nation under his hand. Different tongues, but the same plan. Keep the faith, that's how we land. We the salt of the earth, still seasoned. Chosen by grace, that's the reason. Not color, not fame, not pride. Covered in blood that never died. Deuteronomy, the revelation. This the final generation. We rebuild with dedication. Faith, our weapon, restoration. Memphis heart, Zion mind. Prophecy flow every time I rhyme. They try to hide the divine, but the light still break through ground. Stand tall. Sons and daughters, walk upright. Kings and queens, keep his commandments, live clean. The kingdom's within you. Don't forget what that means. It's up.
We rise, we rise, we rise again.
Wait.
Out the struggle, out the sin. Light in the dark, truth from within. The kingdom starts when we begin. We rise, we rise, we rise again. No chains, hold where the faith in. Keep the law, walk in the wind. The story in where it all began.
Yeah. Listen. This ain't religion, it's redemption. You ain't black. You ain't Hispanic. You ain't Native. You Israel. The same people Moses led through the sea. The same blood that built kingdoms from the dust. The same covenant the world forgot. But the Most High ain't forget. Deuteronomy 7:6 said, "Thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God." We chosen not by color, but by covenant. And now the dry bones breathe again.
So rise, Judah.
Stand tall. Benjamin, Ephraim, wake up your sons dead. Roy, it's a church. Our time ain't coming. Our time is now. The world had its run. Now the prophets run. Now the law returns. Now the prophets stand. Now Israel remembers. But it's name the name. Keep his commandments. Keep your crown clean. Keep your spirit sharp. Because the kingdom is closer than you think.
All praises to the Most High. That was so beautiful, man. Every time I see that, it's so beautiful. Like, we're not really showed like that as kings and princesses and things of that nature. It's not. Where do you actually see that at for us? I've never really seen it, you know. So when I show that video, it touched my heart, man. It touched me so much. Shalawam, Ahchyam, for being here on this beautiful first day of the week. You know, I've been thinking that, hey, I'm going to start doing it on Sunday too, but in the evening when everybody kind of finished doing what they doing at the house, you know, so peace and blessings to you. Like I say, Shalawam, Shalom, the water for being here. Today is a good one because the wisdom and understanding that we have, it was given to us as a gift from on high. So like I said, after the video, we're going to dive into these scriptures. So let me pull these scriptures up and let's dive into it. Right? We're going to go into it today. Let's go to Proverbs. Chapter 4, right? We're going to start there. Proverbs 4:1. Let me make sure I'm sharing. I am sharing. Okay, here we go. Proverbs 4:1. It says, "Hear ye children, the instructions of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law." Now, the thing about this is that the doctrine that we have was given to us from on high, from the Most High. That's the doctrine that we have. In the world that we live in today, in 2026, and in the past, the doctrine that they were bringing was not necessarily on high, from the Most High, right? This is why Christianity and all these different denominations and everything is just kind of crazy, you know, and it has been for a long period of time. But we know as believers in the Most High and His only begotten Son, the doctrine that we have is from on high. We have to follow that doctrine. It's the same doctrine. How do we know that? Because right here in Proverbs 4:2, we can go directly to the New Testament in the book of John. Let me show you that real quick. Let me show you that in John chapter 7. Hold on. John chapter 7 real quick, because it's the same thing Hamashiach Yahawah said, right? Our brother. Let me give the verse, I think it's 16. Yeah. So right here in John chapter 7, verse 15, it says, and the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? So how does he know the scriptures? How does he know the letters, right? The things that were written by the prophets, the Torah, basically the whole Tanakh. How does he know it? Talking about Yahweh Shah, how does he know it? But nobody never taught him. He never learned. They didn't see him go to the school. They didn't see him go to no theology school or anything. Like, how did he learn the scriptures? Yahweh Shah answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. So this is what I mean when I say our doctrine, our belief, what we believe in, it comes from on high, from the Most High. So our doctrine is going to be different than the world's doctrine, because the world doctrine, they don't have the truth. They don't have the truth. They act like they do. They portray like they do, but they really don't have the truth. And the doctrine that needs to be followed is the truth. And that comes from who? The Father. How do you know if somebody doesn't have the true doctrine? If they're worshiping Hamashiach Yahawah and a lot of different other things. But as he's telling the Jews right here in the New Testament in the book of John, in verse 16, Yahawah answered them and said, my doctrine, meaning what I teach, what I'm telling you guys, is not mine, but it is who? The one that sent me, the Father. Verse 17, it says, if any man will do his will, whose will? The Father's will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of the Most High or whether I speak of myself. So for those who have wisdom and have understanding from on high that was given to you by the Most High as a gift, you have that discernment to know whether the lessons, the teachings that are coming out, is it from on high, from the Most High, or is that man speaking of himself, meaning he's teaching what he wants to teach? So it's the same thing Yahawah said. So we should be teaching the same thing that Yahawah taught, that Peter taught, right? Bartholomew taught, Matthias taught, Paul taught, Barnabas. Everybody that we read about, especially in the New Testament, it shouldn't be no other wavering going on. We should be teaching the same doctrine that was from the beginning, as it says here in the New Testament, John 7 and 16. Now let's go back to Proverbs where we were, when he says in verse 2, for I give you good doctrine. And what is the good doctrine? To what? Forsake ye not my law. So you can go in any church, especially in the United States, whether it be Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, Jehovah's Witness, whatever, non-denomination, whatever. And they're going to tell you to what? Forsake the law that is done away with. Well, that's not the same doctrine. That's not the same teaching. Right then and there, like Yahawah told you, they're teaching of who? Their self. They're not teaching the true doctrine, but only a person that has wisdom and understanding would know that. And that wisdom is given as a gift from on high. And I'm going to prove it here in the Bible. Wisdom. Verse 3, for I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also and said unto me, let thy heart retain my words, keep my commandments and live. Verse 5, get wisdom, get understanding. So everything is being told to us here about the doctrine, what we need to get, what we need to understand, what we need to know, is telling us don't forsake the law. Don't leave it. Retain it. So it's complete opposite of what's being taught today in the mainstream. So they would say. The complete opposite. Once again, Proverbs 4 and 5, get wisdom and get understanding. Forget it not. Now, for those who may not know, when it says get wisdom, what is your wisdom? This is why it's important, like I say, to read the whole Bible from Genesis to Revelation. That is our foundation. That is our rock. That is our core. We can't do anything else without that. So when it says here in Proverbs, get wisdom, what is it telling you? Well, if you never read Deuteronomy, you would never know what it means, what wisdom is. You might think, hey, I need to go to college for 4 years. I need to take up sociology. That's wisdom. No, that's not what it's talking about. When it says get wisdom and get understanding, it's referring to what? Let's go here. Deuteronomy. And I always try to show this because our people need to know. Deuteronomy chapter 4. I'm going to start at 5. He says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahawah my power commanded me, that ye should show, or Salakia, that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom. So what is our wisdom? When I just read to you in Proverbs about get wisdom, what is wisdom? The wisdom is the commandments. Moses is telling the people when it starts in verse 4, but ye that did cleave unto Yahawah your power are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you what? Statutes, judgments, even as Yahawah my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land where you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them. What? The law, statute, and commandments. Everything that he taught us, keep them. Why? Because this is your wisdom from on high. This was given to you from the Most High. The Torah, the law, the commandments, they came from the Most High. A lot of people say Moses, and listen, that came from the Most High. He tells you, I gave it to you. That's why he wrote it with his finger on the tablet, because he gave it to us. For this is your wisdom. And then remember in Proverbs, it said understanding. And your what? Understanding. So if a person wants wisdom and understanding, it's right here in the commandments. That's your wisdom and that's the key right there. You have the key right here to unlock everything you need right here. Everything you need. The water for being here, everybody. I just clicked over here. Once again, Aqua of Dorothy, the Aqua of Adriana. All praises to the Most High. The water for being here. Shalawam, shalawam. Shalawam, Marcus says, praises and proof, I believe. If I got that wrong, my apologies. The water for being here. All praises. Mayana Pashat, the water for being here. The sister Adriana, she says, I'm glad I was able to join in today. The water, yeah, Khan. I'm glad you was too. All praises be to the Most High that he woke all of us up today, gave us all breath to do whatever it is that he called us to do on this day. So you took some time to join in on this live. I greatly appreciate it. All praises be to the Most High Yahawah. And she says, Shalawam, beloved sister Mayana Pasha, Khan. The water. So in the book of Deuteronomy, like I was saying, that's our wisdom and our understanding. And how is it? It says, in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes, right? These commandments, and say, surely this great people is wise and an understanding people. So the very doctrine, like I said earlier, that's being preached and talked about today is contrary, is opposite of the truth that's been delivered to us aforetime. And if you have the wisdom and understanding of the Most High, this is how you know if somebody's really walking with the Most High, and the Most High is walking with them, that they have the Rakah, the spirit of the Most High. Because you can't be in darkness with the Most High. You can't sit in that church for 10 years knowing the truth. You have to leave. And we have testimonies of many believers now that were in the churches for many years. And the Most High put that Rakah on them and showed them the truth. Let their eyes see and let their ears hear. And when they heard the truth and they saw, they left that church. No matter who was there, their family, they had to leave. They could no longer be a part of that because they knew that it was false and it was full of lies. So our understanding and our wisdom, it comes from the what? Commandments. So when we go back to Proverbs, because we're still in the first one, for he says, I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. That's the doctrine that we have. We don't forsake the law. We believe in the law. Why? Because that's our wisdom and that's our understanding. It says in verse 4, he taught me also and said to me, let thy heart retain my words. Who is the word? Hamashiach Yahawah. That's what he's called, the word, the very essence of the Most High. That's what we retain in our heart, the word. Keep my commandments and what? Live. What did Hamashiach Yahawah bring to us? That bread that he said he was when he came down to the earth. He said, I'll bring you what? Life. If you eat of this bread, you will get eternal life. You will never be hungry again. That's what he said in the book of John chapter 8. You will never be hungry again, and you will never be thirsty again. He explained it all to them face to face in the book of John, but they still could not understand, just like today people don't understand. Why? Because they are not called to be part of the Most High. Just because somebody show up don't mean, hey, remember the guy that was in the parable that got led into the wedding? There was one guy that was led into the wedding, the feast, remember? And when the king came in, Hamashiach Yahawah, he went to him and he said, hey, how did you get in here? You wasn't supposed to be in here. How did you get in here? And what happened? They ended up casting that guy out in the outer darkness where there was weeping, gnashing of teeth. So in verse 5, it said, get wisdom, which I showed you in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6 on down, or you can read from 1 on down. Get understanding. And then it tells us, forget it not. So don't forget the doctrine that you know from on high, which is the commandments and the law, the statutes. Neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. If you love the Most High and you love his word, which is Hamashiach Yahawah, then you will keep all of that. It says wisdom is the principal thing. So there's no greater thing down here on the earth than wisdom. And I already showed you what wisdom is according to the Most High, your Father. Not the wisdom of this world. What he said is foolishness. The wisdom of the Most High. He said it's the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, in all thy getting, what? Get understanding. What good is to have wisdom and you have no understanding? No understanding. And you can find all these things where? In the law. In the law. And it's the principal thing. No matter what comparative text you go to, it says the same thing. Wisdom is the principal thing. In the NLT, get wisdom, or Salakia, getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do. So it's telling you to obey the law that the Most High has given us, his law, statute, and commandments while you're here on the earth. The Bible is telling us that that's the wisest thing that you can do. So why are people here on earth telling you that the law is done away with? That's contrary to the doctrine that we have been taught. And whatever else you do, develop what? Good judgment. You have to have that discernment, that judgment to know, hey, I came to this place, they doctrine is off. They telling me one thing, but the Bible say another thing. Hey, I got to get out of here. I got to leave. because their doctrine is not the same that came from on high. And I follow the Most High and His only begotten Son, not man. All praises be to the Most High for that, you know. So let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon real quick. She said, Shalawam said, calm. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon real quick. That's in the 1611 King James Bible, right? Wisdom of Solomon. And I'm going to go to chapter 7. This is in the 1611 King James Bible, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1. Now, if you've never read this, I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I'm going to read a lot of it, but not the whole chapter. If you never read this, I would encourage you, as always, to go back and read the 1611 King James Bible, Wisdom of Solomon. Verse 1, it says, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made on earth, talking about Adam. In my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood and of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. And I was born, and I drew in common air, and I fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. This is Solomon. He said, the first thing I did was cry, as all babies do. I was nursed, swallowing clothes, and that were cares. For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. Everybody came the same way. Now, for those who know, all praises. But for those who don't know, look up that word womb. What is a woman's womb called? Other than a womb in the Bible, it's also called, biblically, it's called the matrix. That's where they got that term for the movie, Matrix. So a woman's womb, where that vessel, where that body comes out of, is called the matrix. Because you enter another dimension. You was in one dimension inside of her, and now you come into another dimension when you come out of her. And this is why I say that we are in an assimilation. So when you watch that movie, The Matrix, it's really deep, and they give you a lot of things. Even the name of their ship, like these people know what's going on. They like the elites. They really know what they're doing. They mocking the Most High. You know, that's why he had to be born again. Remember, that was the whole thing in the movie Matrix. They asked him, "Hey, do you really want to be born? Do you really want to know what's going on? Do you really want to know what the world is really like? Like what you're in right now is an assimilation. Like it's not really real." And that's why Hamashiach Yahawah, when his teaching, he told us, listen, don't gather things here. It's not real. Don't try to build up yourself here. It's not real. Don't hoard money and things and clothes. Like, it's not real. You can't take none of this stuff with you. It's not real. But put what? If you're going to do something, work for the treasures in the Shemayim. That's real. Why is it real? Because it lasts for eternity. Whatever you gather there, you will have forever. So it's a difference of gathering things forever and gathering things here that you would only have, what, 60 years, 70 years people live? Let's just say, if the Bible say 120 years, right? 120 years. That's not a long time compared to eternity. Verse 6, for all men have one entrance into life, and the light going out. We come out the mother's womb, and then we pass away, we die, when the Most High takes his what? Rakah back. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon the Most High, and the Rakah of wisdom came to me. So we know that wisdom is a Rakah. It's a spirit that is gifted to you from on high, from your father, Yahawah. Because with Solomon is saying, hey, I prayed for this, and the Most High gifted this to me. I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches Nothing in comparison to her. No matter how wealthy, no matter how much money, gold, silver, rubies, emeralds, whatever wealth, Solomon said all that stuff is nothing compared to wisdom. Nothing in comparison to her. And her is wisdom. Neither compared I unto her in precious stone, because in all gold is respect of her is a little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. That's what I'm saying. Those precious stones, diamond, yellow diamonds, rubies, whatever. Silver, gold is counted as nothing, clay. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out. It never goeth out. Never. What does that sound like? What light does that sound like? In the kingdom, it said we won't need the sun anymore because we will get the light from who? On high, from the Most High. So we won't need that. And it says that the gates will remain open. The light will always shine. There will never be darkness inside the kingdom of the Shemayim. Never, ever, ever will there be darkness. There can't be. Verse 11. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hands. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goeth before them. So if you have wisdom, it goes before all riches, before anything. He said health and beauty. Remember, wisdom is the principal thing. That's what it is. Verse 13. I learned diligently and do communicate with her liberally. I did not hide her riches, for she is a treasure unto man that never faileth, which they that use become the friends of the Most High. So if you have wisdom and you use it, it says you become the friend of the Most High. The friend. And it's a gift. As it says right here, for the gifts that come from what? Learning. The Most High have granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as I meet, for these things that are given me. This is how you know wisdom is given to us once again. Because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom and directed the wise. What is the wisdom? The law, statute, and commandments. Keeping his word. Obedience. Obeying him. And the Most High is directing you. Verse 16. For in his hands are both we and our words. So that's why I say the water for being here, everybody that's here. Because you might say, hey, I'm going to just click on this, see what the Ag is talking about today, shake it up a little bit. But it's the Most High leading you. And whatever's coming out of my mouth is coming from on high, from the Most High. That's why it says in verse 16, for in his hands are both we, believers in the Most High, and our words, the very words that are being spoken. All wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship. I can't put no work in. I can't put a brick in. I can't do anything unless the Most High gives me the power to do so. I didn't wake myself up this morning. I didn't think to myself, hey, I want to do a lesson today on wisdom. No, the Most High put that on me. He said, hey, today you're going to do a lesson on wisdom, how I give it as a gift to your brothers and sisters, to you. Verse 17, for he have given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how the world was made and the operations of the elements. I mean, that's deep. To know how the world was made. Like, Solomon was on another level. And the operations of the elements. And like I said, if you haven't read this, please go back and read all of it. I'm not going to read all of it for time's sake, because I don't want to keep people too long today. But I'm just saying, he started talking about the sun and the moon and the alterations and the seasons and the stars and the living creatures and, the winds and all kind of stuff. And he knew all of these things because the wisdom was given to him from on high, from the Most High. So all praises to the Most High for showering us with a little bit of him. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. We can't get ahead of ourselves. Just a little bit. That's how I look at it. Sister Adriana, she said, Khan, all praises be to the Most High. Did I miss anything? Let me see. Yeah. And the other sister, Ahchyam, she said, nothing here will last. And once we kind of get that in our mindset and we know that nothing here will last, then going after certain things in this life, in this world, it doesn't mean as much because as a believer, it doesn't last. So you don't have to give all that effort to, get certain things here because you're like, it doesn't mean that much to me as it does to somebody else that's living in this world, So I agree with you 100%. She says, just take what you need, and even those things won't last long. And that's exactly what the scriptures and Peter and them is telling us. Hey, remember, Peter said, as your life is what? A stranger and a pilgrim here on the earth. That's what you are. You are a stranger and a pilgrim. You have citizenship somewhere else. You are a citizen of what? The kingdom of heaven. You have rights, you have rules, you have regulations that have been told to you, gifted to you from on high, from your Father and his only begotten Son. So you're 100% correct when you make that statement. 100% correct. And of course, the Ahchyam Adriana, she totally agrees because she said, Khan, all praises be to the Most High. Let's continue on. Out of the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, let's go. Before we leave out of the 1611 arc completely, let's go here real quick. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, or better known as the book of Sirach. Chapter 1. Because he speaks about a lot of wisdom here too. This is in the 1611 King James Bible, right? Chapter 1, the first chapter. Starting at verse 4. I'll give a minute just in case the people that had a Bible, and they turning. Okay, here we go. Verse 4. Wisdom have been created before all things. Let's get that clear. So just as Hamashiach Yahawah was created, wisdom, the spirit, the Rakah, because that's what it is. It was created too. You can see it right here. It says wisdom have been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting. The word of the Most High is the fountain of wisdom. I hope you caught that. The word of the Most High. Who is the word? Hamashiach Yahawah. He brings the word of who? The Most High. That's why he's called the word, because he brings the very word of the Most High. But a person would know that if they did not read the law. You have to read the law. You have to go to the Torah to how would I know this if I had never read the law? If I never read the Torah, how would I know the word of the Most High is the fountain of wisdom? How would I know that? What word? What is it talking about? But let me show you. Let me show you real quick. So when we go here real quick, and I'm going to go right back to that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 18, right? So when you read this in Deuteronomy 18 in the Torah, you say, okay, wait a minute. When you jump down here, let's start at 17. And Yahawah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. Verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their who? Brethren, the Ahchyam. Like unto thee, That's why he came in a body just like his who? Brethren. Then it says, I will put my words, meaning the Most High words, everything that the Most High wants to tell and deliver to us down here on the earth, I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. All of it. So that's why he's called the Word, because he's bringing who? The Word from on high, the Most High. So he is the very Word, the very essence. That's why when what's his name? Not Paul. Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Not Paul. Philip, Salakia. When Philip said, "Hey, show us the Father, and I'll be content with that." Yahawah said, you don't know the Father? You can't see him? When you look at me, you looking at the Father. I'm the very essence of him. I'm the Word. I'm bringing him forth. I'm showing you what he is. So when you look at me, you looking at the Father. But Philip couldn't understand that, you know. He wanted to see something physical, just like most people. They want, like people ask me when I'm out on the streets teaching and this and that. They're like, hey, you know, where's the building at? We are the building. Yeah, but I know where's the physical place where we could come? They want something physical. They want something physical. But what they fail to realize is what the scriptures say. What does the scripture say? John chapter 4, verse 24. Let me get it. What does it say about the Most High? But the hour coming, and now is, when the true worshipers, see, the true worshipers, you have to ask yourself, are you a true worshiper? Shall worship the Father in what? In the Rakah, in spirit and in truth. You don't need to go to no building. Huh? He said, I don't dwell in a building with man's hands. So you don't need to go to that building every Sunday or every Shabbat. You don't have to. If you want to, all praises. As long as you're getting the truth and the right doctrine. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But you don't have to. He's telling you right here. This is a Mashiach Yahushua telling you. And you might say, well, how do I know that's a Mashiach Yahushua? He's talking to the woman at the well. He's telling her that the hour coming. It's now. It's here. He tell you, and it's now, right here. And now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in the Rakah and in truth. For the Father seek. This is what the Father is looking for. He's not looking for the people in the building. He's looking for the people that's really worshiping him at home, in their car, at the plantation, wherever you are. You can worship him in the spirit, in the shower, in the bathtub, while you cleaning your home, whatever, while you washing your car, vacuuming it out. You can worship the Father right then and there. He loved music. You can put some music on and be praising the Most High while you vacuuming out your car. And all the time, the Malak, he's standing there, he looking, and he said, oh, look at her. And look at him, boy, they praising the Most High. You ain't got to go to that building. He would rather you do it like that than going to some false building. Verse 24. And then it says the Most High is what? He's a Rakah. He's a spirit. And they that worship him must. You must worship him in the spirit, the Rakah, and in truth. You have to. But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just go to church on Sundays and they worship him there. And then as soon as the pastor say church is released, that's it. They don't pick up the word no more. They don't even think about the word until next Sunday. I've literally been there and asked people when they walked out of service, out of church, and I've asked them, put to their face, what was the service about? What was the lesson? And they don't even know. And literally, they just walking out of service. And I'm like, hey, what was the service about? What was the lesson today? They're like, let me get back to you on that. How can you? That means you didn't feed yourself. You didn't eat anything. You didn't receive any bread that day. Why? Because you wasn't worshiping him in spirit and in truth. And for those who say didn't know that this is the Messiah, it says, the woman saith unto him, I know that the Messiah cometh, which is called Hamashiach. When he come, he will tell us all things. So she's still waiting on who? The Messiah. And she told him, when he come, he gonna tell us all things. Well, here it is right here in 26. Yahawah saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. I'm the Messiah. I'm Hamashiach Yahawah. And I just told you, you're going to have to worship the Father in spirit and truth. You want to know why all this was taking place? Because she said her fathers said we have to worship this way, right? Because remember, she was a Samaritan woman. So he was explaining to her, you ain't got to go to Jerusalem. You ain't got to go to that church. You ain't even got to go to that temple that's there, because they're going to tear it down in a little bit. She didn't know that. But they're going to tear that temple down. And it ain't going to be no temple to go to. And since there's no temple, now you are the temple that he's building and lifting up. And now he wants you to worship him in what? Spirit and in truth. Because there was a lot of people going to the temple, like Hamashiach Yahawah said, there was what? Hypocrites. That's what all them books of John is about. But I don't want to, get off sidetrack. I don't want to go too off the track, So what she did, Aqua Dorothy said, those Sunday buildings scare me. Hey, they scare me too now. And I feel sad for our brothers and sisters that's in there, because it's actually changed that they're shackled with. And when you try to produce the truth to them from on high, they actually, condemn you and curse you and want to, so, all we could do is keep trying and keep warning them, keep putting his word out. That's why, we work so hard, diligently, as we're commanded to do, to just keep putting out that truth, whether they listen, whether they don't, whether they click off, whether they say unruly thing, whatever they do, we just keep pushing forward. Nothing's going to stop me unless the Most High stop me. And as long as he keep giving me breath and he allows me to have his spirit within me and gives me with his wisdom and understanding, I'm going to keep pushing forward, and I'm not looking for pats on the back. I'm not looking for accolades. I'm not looking for none of that, because the Most High, that's who matters. That's who matters. So as long as he keep allowing me to do it, I'm going to do it. And any other Ahchyam that's out here doing it, or ahcwathyam, brother or sister, whatever you do, as I'm going to get into it, because there's many parts to the body. We're going to get into that. So the water for that comment. Let's go back where we was real quick. Back to Sirach. I just had to show all that. We're going to go to Sirach real quick and finish that up. We was at Ecclesiastic Us 1:5. It says, the word of the Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting what? Commandments. Remember, if you want wisdom and understanding, keep the commandments. To whom have the root of wisdom been revealed, or who have known her wise counsel? Unto whom have the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest, and who have understood her great experience? There is one wise and greatly to be feared, Yahawah, sitting upon his throne. Don't say nothing about Yahawah. Now, do we need to fear Yahawah? Of course, because he's going to bring the word and the judgment of the Most High. But really, it's the Father. He's just the one, doing what needs to be done. But really, as it says, there's one wise and greatly to be feared. It's Yahawah sitting upon his throne. He created her and saw her and numbered her and poured her out upon all his works. So all his creation, all of his works has what? Wisdom. She is with all flesh according to his gift. It's a gift from on high. and he have given her to them that love him. The fear of Yahawah is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. Verse 12. The fear of Yahawah maketh the merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. Whoso feareth Yahawah, it shall go well with you, or well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. All praises. A true believer that's really walking with the Most High, you shouldn't be afraid of death. We think about it, but we shouldn't be afraid of it, because why? You're going to find favor. You're going to find favor. And the Bible tells you that. You're going to find favor in the day of your death of the Most High. To fear Yahawah is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful where? In the womb. So you might think, hey, I believe in the Most High, Hamashiach Yahushai. Now I came into the truth, and, I've been in the truth for this and that, and, I'm doing this. Listen, this was already pre-planned and predestined before you even came out of your mother's womb. It tells you here, the fear of Yahawah is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful where? In the womb. You were already chosen. Before your mama pushed you out, you were already chosen to be a child of the Most High. She had nothing to do with it. This was predestination. Predestined. 15. She had built an everlasting foundation with man, and she shall continue with their seed, meaning the offspring, your children, your great-grandchildren, to the third and fourth and fifth and sixth and 10th generation. The fear of Yahawah is the fullness of wisdom. So if you want wisdom, what's the fullness of it? You can't get any more wisdom than this. There's no more wisdom. This is it. It's complete. You have completed it. Wisdom. The fullness of it. It's full. It's at the top. But what does it say? To fear Yahawah. So if you fear him, and I ain't talking about being scared like like you scared of him, but I'm talking about you respect him, you honor him, you reverence him. To respect him means that you would do what? Honor his word. Just like when you tell your child to do something and they respect you, they do it right then and there, not when they want to, not when they feel good and ready. If they respect you, but if they don't respect you, you will say, hey, go in there, wash them dishes. You come back 4 hours later, the dishes ain't washing. They still in there on the TV. And then you tell them again, they tell you, hey, I get to it when I can. She filleth all their house with things desirable. So you get everything you need with the Most High. Everything you need from on high, from the Most High, you'll receive it. You'll get it. But like I say, some people get puffed up when they get wisdom. And we get examples of that in the Bible. So we have to be careful when we do get this wisdom. It is a gift from the Most High. And when we get this understanding, it is a gift from the Most High. But we've seen in the Bible a few people that had knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and got a little puffed up, got a little puffed. And the Most High had to kind of like check them and put them back in their place. Let's get that in 2nd Ezra real quick, since we already here. 2nd Ezra chapter 4. Second Ezra chapter 4. Aqua she says, Khan, I'm thankful that the truth is being revealed daily. People will eventually have no other choice but to acknowledge the truth. Khan, big, super Khan. That's why we keep pushing the truth forward through the Spirit, through the Rakah. It's only through the Most High and His only begotten Son. But all praises be that there is Ahchyam out there still bringing forth the truth and the good doctrine, you know. And like she said, hopefully they won't have no other choice, you know. There's gonna come a time where we're gonna be able to start hemming them up, you know. And the time is getting close where, hey, you're gonna have to pick a side, you know. You're gonna know what the truth is. And if you still want to stay where you at because you comfortable, you know, because your family go there, or you got a high-ranking position and you comfortable in that place, you know, you've been going there for 20 years and 15. Hey, we did what we were supposed to do, you know. We did what we were supposed to do. 3 things we can't stop: sunlight, moon glow, and the truth. All praises. I like that. You can't stop that. The sun is going to rise, and definitely the moon is going to show, you know, and they can't stop the truth. All praises be to the Most High. And Sister Adriana, she said, keep his commandments. All praises, you know. And somebody say the truth is dead. No, it ain't. You just not looking in the right place. It's here. It's here. And we know it's here because even the sisters are speaking on it. It's here, you know, so they just not looking in the right places. Not everybody want truth, you know. And like I say, when you get that wisdom and understanding and truth, you know, don't get puffed up. Because Ezra here, he was a prophet, he was a priest, he was a Levite, and he got puffed up. Yes, he did. We're going to read it, you know. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, and we'll start at verse 1. And the Malak that was sent unto me, whose name was Uriel, gave me an answer and said, thy heart have gone too far in this world. So he's telling Ezra that his heart has went too far in the world. Too far. You got to make sure your heart don't go too far in this world. You have to examine yourself constantly, day to day, couple days, week to week, however you want to do it. But we need to examine yourself. You should be examining yourself constantly to what? Make sure your heart don't go too far in this world. And thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High? And a lot of people here, they do. Especially men. They feel that they know the thoughts and they can kind of comprehend what the Most High is going to do, when it's going to happen. And this is a Malak telling Ezra, like, do you think you can you think you know what the Most High is thinking? Verse 3, Ezra, the priest, the prophet, the one who built the other temple, he says, then said I, yeah, my Adawan, I can understand and I can comprehend the Most High. Look at it. He says, yes, written in black and white. Yeah, my Adawan. And he answered me and said, I am sent to show thee 3 things and to set forth 3 similitudes before thee, whereof if thou canst declare me one, not all 3, not all 3. This is the Most High. Now he doesn't even want you to declare all 3. He's going to show you and tell you 3, but he just wants you to tell me one. Just tell me one. I will show thee also the way that thou desires to see. And I shall show thee from whence the wicked heart cometh. I'll reveal to you what you want to know, Ezra. If you can answer these questions for me, I'm going to ask you 3, but all I ask you to do is just tell me one answer. And then I'll reveal to you what it is that you want to know. Right? Because Ezra's puffed up. He said, I can understand the Most High. So verse 5, it says, and I said, tell on, my Adawan. Then said he unto me, go thy way, weigh me the weight of the fire, or measure me the blast of wind, or call me again the day that is past. Right? Yesterday. Then answered I and said, what man is able to do that thou shouldest ask such things of me? But wait a minute. You just told a Malak an angel from the Most High, that you can comprehend the Most High. But then when I ask you these things, you say, how can you ask me such things? Verse 7. And he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, or how many springs are above the firmament, or which are the outgoings of paradise, peradventure thou wouldest say unto me, I never went down into the deep, nor as yet into hell, neither did I ever climb up into Shemayim. Verse 9, nevertheless, now have I asked thee, but only of the fire and wind, and of the day wherethrough thou hast passed, meaning you lived in that day, and of the things from which thou canst not be separated. Right? Fires on earth. Some of y'all cooking right now are going to cook later on. You're going to go to the stove and turn on what? The fire. Outside of my house right now, the wind is blowing. You might have some wind around your house right now blowing. So we see the wind, we feel the wind. So those simple little things, and we all lived yesterday because it was the Shabbat. So those simple things he asked them, those are things that you can't be separated from. The fire, wind, and the day that you lived yesterday. And it says, and yet canst thou give me no answer of them? You can't give me an answer of fire, wind, and yesterday? Verse 10. He said, moreover unto me, this is the Malach speaking, thy own things and such as are grown up with thee, can thou not know it? I mean, you don't even know the things that you are living in, that you grew up with, fire, wind, and the day that you're walking through. How should thy vessel then be able to comprehend the way of the highest? And the world being now outwardly corrupt, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight. So it's evident in the Malach and the angel sight that the world is completely corrupt. But in Ezra's eyes, it's not really that corrupt. So what lens is he looking through? That the world is not as corrupt as he see it, but to the Malach, it's fully corrupt. It's fully corrupt. Then said I unto him, it is better that we were not at all. Then, listen to this, then that we should live still in wickedness and to suffer and not know whereof. He answered me and said, this is crazy. I mean, Ezra is really puffed up. He's really puffed up. He answered me and said, I went into a forest, into a plain, and the trees took counsel and said, come, let us go up and make war against the sea, that it may depart away before us, and that we may make us more woods. The floods of the sea also came in like manner, took counsel, and said, come, let us go up and subdue the woods of the plain. Salakia. That there will also we may make us another country. Salakia. The thought of the wood was in vain, for the fire came and consumed it. The thought of the floods of the sea came likewise to nothing, for the sand stood and stopped them. If thou were to judge now between these two, whom wouldest thou begin to justify, or whom wouldest thou condemn? I answered and said, truly, because the word verily just means truly. So anytime you see the word verily, it just means truly. It is a foolish thought that they both had devised. For the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea also his place to bear his floods. Then answered he me and said, thou hast given a right judgment, but why judgest thou not thyself also? For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his flood, Listen to this part right here. Even so, they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. And he that dwelleth above the Shemayams may only understand the things that are above the height of the Shemayam. So while man be down here acting like they got so much understanding and so much wisdom and they just this and they just that, listen, the Malak of the Most High said you can never understand those things that are on high. You can only understand what's on earth. And as you can see, we don't really even understand that, because the prophet Ezra that was talking to a Malak and dealing with the Most High, he couldn't even tell him or wave fire, the wind, or bring back the day that was yesterday. He had no answers. And that's Ezra, the prophet. The one who was pulling his hair out, ripping his clothes and all this stuff. So this is what I mean. Don't get puffed up when you get that wisdom, when you get that understanding, when you get that knowledge from on high, right? Don't get puffed up. Let me see. Khan, she said, keep the commandments. Aqua Adriana and Aqua Dorothy says, this makes me think about the society we currently live in, because we are surrounded by idols, enchantments, and don't know it. Khan. We think it's just logos. Yeah, Khan. And they everywhere. Disneyland, Taco Bell, McDonald's, everywhere it's logos, signs, enchantments. Like even on these commercials, watching TV, it's just crazy. It's in everything and it's everywhere. But all praises be to the Most High that you realize that and you know that, which means the Rakah is in you, is working in you, and you're aware of these things. It's a beautiful thing to be aware of these things. It's a lot of people that are walking blind and are not aware. So Khan, Mayana Pasha, she said, we've been seeing it all our lives and don't realize anything. Right? It's wrong. It's something else. What's crazy is that they put a lot of it too, and I still don't understand it. In the children's like they videos for kids, like you pop on the Disney thing with the cartoons and stuff, it's symbols and signs and things in there. And they do it to you even when you're a little child. Like they messing with your mind already from that little, just an infant. And parents don't know. They think they popping this on for the kids to be, entertained watching these little Disney movies and things. But all the time it's subliminal messages and things being put in there. And it's scary. It's sad, And we try to tell people and warn them, but, people think it's something else. But all we could do is bring the truth to the table. Like Hamashiach Yahawah did. He brought the truth to the table. And he said, he kept asking people, why don't you understand what I'm saying? Why don't you understand the truth? But they just could not receive it. And he told them, I understand now. I understand why you can't receive it. Because you are of your father, the devil. That's John 8:44. Read it for yourself. Read the book of John. The book of John is fire. Aqua Adriana, she says, Khan, even the cars and the clothes have them. Everything. It's in everything. It's in the food, everything is coming to light. I wish I could pull that up, the video she just showed me about Wingstop. If you in here and you could pull that up, let me know. She showed it to me last night about Wingstop, how Wingstop, the wings ain't even real wings. There was like 40% or 20% meat, 40% meat, and the other stuff was like filler and something else. And let's be honest, everybody going to Wingstop. Wingstop is everywhere, and it's not even real meat. McDonald's, Subway, Taco, all these places, Chick-fil-A, like they are selling us poison, literally, at a high price, and we paying for it. Imagine that somebody selling you poison. They say, hey, it's going to be $50 for this poison. We put special sauce on it. We got special sauce on this poison. And they charging you $50. And we pay it. They like, these people are so ignorant. We can tell them anything, and they always got a new special. And like the sister said, more clothes, more this, more that. You know, it's just crazy. The Aqua of Dorothy said, Khan, very demonic. They start from childhood. That's why they were want to change the curriculum in these schools, teaching children about gender, reassignment, and what's not. It's a hot mess. It's a mess, Khan. It's just a mess. You know, it's in this language every day, the months, the names of false deities. So we are always calling out the name of some fake deity, Khan. Well, if you notice, that's why I said when I started this lesson, the first day of the week. You know, that's how we try to do it. First day, second day, third day, fourth day, seventh day. Because if for those who may have not known, you know, like the Aqua of Dorothy is saying, the sister Dorothy is letting it be known, the days of the week are what? Fake deities, or as we would call them, Greek deities, right? So that's how they got those names. And when you call off those names of the week, which, you know, you giving honor to those Greek deities. And we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to call off any other deity other than the Most High. That's why I don't use those other names. That's why I use the name of the Most High, Yahawah, and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushua. Or when I come to things in the Bible, when it's talking about other deities, I try my best not to use those names. And I use the word deity because that's what they are. You know, they're other deities. So Khan. And then she also says, Khan, I really have to get a meat grinder. I don't trust the ground meat. No, don't trust it. And even when it say, I'm just learning, even when what is it called? Like organic. You know, now we come to find out, even though they saying it's organic, it really may not even be organic. They lying to us. Like they so much of liars, man. We can't trust nothing these people say. Nothing. And it's sad. You know, like I say, they selling us poison. Even the sister is saying, like, she can't even trust the meat. She can't even trust it. You know, Mayana Pasha, she said McDonald's tested 3% human meat. Oh, man. 3% human meat is in McDonald's. Please, if anybody's listening to this, don't go to McDonald's no more. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't go to Wingstop. Don't go to none of that stuff. 3% human meat. Pull it up. Google it. This is what she said. McDonald's is what? Tested 3% human meat. Goodness gracious. We eating people. Like it's an apocalypse already. What's that movie Denzel was in? The Book of Eli, when they was eating people. Which is, by the way, that's a good movie. The Book of Eli, that's a good movie. You know. She says, she's shaking her head crying. Yeah. I need to start doing that, Con. Day 1, day 2, etc. Month by month. Con. Like on my little chart right here, my month, I just got second month, third month, fourth month. And then I'm not gonna lie, I do write the name of the Hebrew month on my calendar. I write the name of the Hebrew month and I write second month, whatever, you know, Nisan or whatever it is. And then I write out my the days of the month, so I know exactly what day it is for the calendar of the Most High, not, you know, this Greek calendar, a Gregorian calendar, I should say. So Khan, that's what I do. Or I hadn't put that up there, but that's what I was just talking about just now. I heard about that. Yikes, yeah. And it's sad, like I say, we're willing to pay for poison. And you might say, well, you know, but look at us before we came into the truth. What was good eating? Crab, shrimp, lobster. That was good eating. I mean, if you took somebody or you went out to eat and you was eating lobster and shrimp and crabs and man, I mean, you thought you was eating good, dipping it all in the butter and with the seasoning and all that. We had no idea that we was eating the roaches of the sea. And if you did know, all praises. But I didn't know. And I was going. And I thought we was eating good. All the time, we was eating something that was going against the Most High. We was eating roaches. So that's what I mean, that this world will lie to you and tell you, hey, yeah, you eating good. This is the best that you can get. Like they tell you, eat snails and all this. It's so beautiful. And all the time, you eating everything that the Most High told you don't eat. But this world will lie to you and sell you poison. And we was paying expensive prices to go eat lobster, crab, and shrimp and all that. Man, we were spending about $200 something. Expensive. And it was poison. So we were paying out of the pocket at a high price for the poison. And all the time, them people looking at us like, look at these people. They don't know what, they so far lost, they think this is good eating. Look at them. Look at them. And they made fun of us and mocked us. You know, so yeah. APBTTMH, she said, Khan, can't trust anything these days. Not nothing. I mean, nothing. Nothing. You know, and it's sad. We should be, but, you know, this is what we live in. And this is why the Most High has put his judgment against these people, because this is what they have done to his children. They selling us poison. They pushing in us poison to get us sick so we can go to the same doctor that they own and then give us medicine that they own and just keep that cycle going to get what? Money to feed their belly. Because they want so much of this here on the earth, you know. Aquador, said, I used to eat shrimp like it was going out of style. Yep. But once I found out, I stopped. God, all praises be to the Most High. All praises. Same here. I don't know if I was eating it like it was going out of style, but I had my fair share. I tell you that. I had my fair share. I mean, we would go eat it probably at least once or twice a month. You know, at least. And I'm talking about we went in heavy. I'm a big guy. So when I went in, you know. But yeah, when we found out, we read Leviticus and we said, wait a minute. And then we started to look things up and it started to tell me it was the roach of the sea and this and that. And then the Most High said, don't eat those things. And it's abomination. I ain't touched it since. I ain't had a crab. I ain't had a lobster. I ain't had a shrimp. A shellfish, a clam, a oyster, none of that stuff. And really, we rarely have fish, you know, and we be trying to check those things because a lot of times they try to slip them in, you know, with the fish. So you got to be careful even with the fish to make sure, you know, like our people love catfish, but catfish is an abomination. It don't have no scales and it's a bottom feeder, you know, and our people love catfish. So it's pretty much everything that the Most High said don't eat, our people love, because that's what was given to us when we were broke down into slavery. That's what they gave us. Pig feet, pig knuckle, right? All this hog maw and slop and a possum and all this stuff, rabbit. And you go down south, boy, and they love that stuff. And that's what our people grew up on. They call it soul food. No. It's death food. It's an abomination to the Most High when you read Leviticus 11. But a lot of our people don't read the Bible. They only read the New Testament. And the preachers and the pastors never talk about that. They tell them, hey, you can eat whatever you want to eat now. Remember, Peter had the vision and it came down. And he said, you know, it's all clean now. And then they selling shrimp plates in the back. Pork chops. Soon as church is over. So you know who house that is. Who house is that? That's Satan's house. That's not the Most High house. That's Satan's house. How you going to sell an abomination in the house that you call the Most High's house? That doesn't even make sense. But those people are, like I said, they don't have ears and they don't have eyes. They don't have the wisdom that was given from on high from the Most High Yahawah. So kind, you know. Mayana Pasha, she says, them so expensive roaches. Yeah. Think about lobster now. If you get a lobster now, man, you're spending almost $100, depending on how many pounds, but you're spending almost $100. When we used to go to eat at the seafood spot, they used to do it by how many pounds of shrimp you want. You know, you get 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds, and the clusters of claws, you know, whether you're getting king crab or you getting snow crab, you know, they say how many pounds, you know, and and those things is expensive. What they call it, market price. And that bill come, it be like $200, $300. It depends on how many people you got. But if it's 2 people, you talking about easy $150, $200. And I'm talking about easy. Expensive what? Roaches. And we buying it. Eating it up. Pouring butter on roaches. Ain't that? Woo! I mean, we sick. We pouring butter on roaches and calling it food. Man, we sick. I mean, we are sick. My friend, she says, the sister Dorothy says, my friend paid $400 for a box of king crab legs from Costco. Shake my head. Even if I wasn't in the troop, I would not pay that. I heard that. $400 for a box of crab. Now that we know, for a box of roaches. You should have told her, let me get that $400. I go in my backyard and dig up some roaches, you know, and you can pour butter all over them. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I just don't eat scavengers. If it's a scavenger, won't touch it. Pork chops, shrimp, catfish, every scavenger. But those exact things are what people love, and they'll fight you to the death over it. When you pull out the Bible and show them that in Leviticus chapter 11, they're going to fight you to the death, and they're going to keep bringing up Peter when he had that vision. Remember when Peter went to Cornelius and he had the vision and he came down and he said, you don't tell me what's clean as I make it clean and unclean, and we can eat it now. We can eat it now. Well, you eat it. If that's what you believe and that's what you've been taught, you eat it. But I'm going to go to what the word of the Most High said. And in the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7 on down, he said, all those things are an abomination. All those things are abomination to him. And I want to make sure that I make it to the kingdom. So I'm not going to chance it, because you know what? That man that broke down what happened to Peter, he might be wrong. And I'm not going to put my trust in what that man said. I'm going to put my trust in what the Most High said. And in his law and in his Torah, it said in Leviticus chapter 11 that it was an abomination. So if he said it then in the Torah, I'm going to follow that. I'm not missing out. If they roaches and they bottom feeders anyway, like the sister just said, I'm not missing out on nothing from what they say in the health. All that stuff brings you what? Diabetes, high blood pressure, high sugar, all this stuff anyway. So you're not missing out on nothing. There's nothing that you're missing out on. It's better for you not to even eat that stuff anyway. Because as soon as you go to the doctor, he tell you got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes from what? Dipping it all that butter, frying it in all that what's that grease? That Crisco. I know years ago when I was young, you know, them grandparents and stuff, they had that blue can that set on the stove, and it was like that white stuff in it, and they just grab a big handful and throw it in that iron skillet. I think that's Crisco. And they just be popping in there, and they fry all the chicken in there, and just grease everywhere. The whole stove be covered with grease. And we in there eating, talking about, ooh, this is good, this is good. Eating straight death. You know, straight death, man. So, yeah, no more pork chops out there. If you listening and you watch this at a later date, Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7 on down. No more swine. No more pork chops. No more shrimp, crab, lobster, mussels, clams. None of that stuff, okay? And she, Mayana Pasha, she said, wow. Telling you, man, I'm telling you. She said, I get on his nerves. He wants to eat more scavengers than when I come around. So I didn't eat pork. He sees me, then suddenly he wants pig feet. Ha ha ha. But not in front of me. That's crazy. You know. But you should show him. I'm pretty sure you have already Leviticus 11 and things like that, and how it's an abomination. And it's a filthy animal. It doesn't even have pores. It can't sweat. And they eat garbage. They eat filth. You know? So the toxins is within them because they don't even have pores to sweat the toxins out. So the toxins is in their flesh. So much so that the Bible tells us don't even touch them, let alone eat them. But the Most High said don't even touch it. That's how much of an abomination it is. So, yeah, we're going to a barbecue, he said. Yeah. We will have steak and chicken, no pork. Okay. But even chicken is bad. You know, they pumping that stuff in there. All them ingredients they pumping. We find, like I just said, Wingstop, 30% chicken. And the other part is I don't even know what, you know. I just tell you this from now on when you go to the grocery store, turn the back around and read the ingredients and see what it say. If it don't just say chicken, don't buy it. If it don't just say beef, don't buy it. If it don't just say orange juice, don't buy it. Or oranges or straw, whatever it is, whatever you buying, that's what it should say. If you buying potatoes, when you turn the ingredients, when you turn the bag around and look at it, it should say potato. Not potato, fluoric acid, benzene number 1, yellow dye 4, yellow dye 5. You know, it's like, what is going on here? Like I said, like a chemistry set or something, you know? So, no. Always check, Khan. She says, I always check. Khan. And for anybody out there who don't check, hey, we telling you this from on high because this is coming from the Most High, you know? And the sisters is telling you the things that they be going through. And as she's saying, she always check. It's for your benefit. It's for your help. Because we know now, we realize that they selling us what? Poison. Like I say, Wingstop, McDonald's, you see the sister just shared that McDonald's is 3% human meat. Google it. 3% human meat. Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out. You know, out here on the West Coast, In-N-Out is a big deal, man. You hit a corner In-N-Out, it's all the way out on the main street. You can't even get in there. That's how packed it is. And I'm talking about every day. It's not a day that you will go by In-N-Out and it's not a line around the corner. Every day. And they selling you death. You know, all of them. Pizza Hut, Domino, wherever you go, it's death on the plate. And we just have to be aware of that. So all praises to the Most High that he's showing us these things and bringing the truth out. The Aqua Dorothy, she says, follow me one time because I kept stopping to Google stuff. Khan, I guess they said, what is that lady doing? Khan, that's how they be looking at me in the store and my wife, you know. And I look at everything. All praise to the Most High that he showed us that thing. You know, she been on it before me. But now, you know, I'm looking at everything. Matter of fact, I bought, hey, if you watch it, bring me those crackers that I bought earlier. And she said, man, they so hard, they like bricks. But I was going to the store, I just wanted some crackers. Man, I went to the Alpha crackers and got the Ritz crackers and turned it around, and it's talking about sulfuric acid and dye this and bins. I said, oh, no, I put that back on the shelf. I said, well, what about the club crackers with the little L? And that was worse than the Ritz crackers. I ended up buying this one purple bag, and you know, it was just wheat, flour, and some other stuff. When I brought it home, she said, man, this is like a brick. These things is hard, you know, but it's healthy. It's healthy, you know, and that's what you got to look for, you know, the healthy version of stuff, because they killing us. They trying to take the Most High children out of the way. And if they can't get to us one way, they'll get to us another way, you know. Oh, huh. Look, you can take it right back. Let me see if it'll show. Oh, man, it won't even show. It won't even show because I got the thing on. Dang. Yeah. Crisp bread. She said they call crisp bread, multi-grain, Swedish style. But since I got the backdrop on, it really won't show. You know, dang. Back up. I'm trying. Yeah. Yeah.
Sit it on your head.
She said, sit it on my head. She said, I had a recipe for crackers. I might make some. Watch I make some good crackers. She said they make good crackers.
This is Wausau.
That's what we got. That's
It's
what we
the
got.
Wausau multi-grain crisp bread.
The Wausau multi-grain crisp bread. Yeah, those are the ones I bought. The pink wrapper. She said they hard as all outdoors. So you can throw it at somebody. Bow. Yeah. Hey, APBTTMH said, con. So they must, that's how they come, huh? They come hard, hard knocks, huh? They never said it was going to be easy, If you want a cracker, that's what it is. Otherwise, you got to make your own. But don't go buy them Ritz and Club crackers and none of them crackers because it's full of acid and dye. And, it's going to kill us, It's going to kill us. So let's dive back into the scriptures real quick. And, where was I at? With Ezra? Yeah, I had showed you about Ezra, how he was puffed up. And he was talking about how he understands the Most High and things like that. So let's go to the New Testament as we get ready to wrap it up. Well, not quite yet, but almost. Let's go to the New Testament. 1 Peter is where I'm going to go. You got your Bibles? Please turn with me. 1 Peter chapter 4. That's crazy. Yeah, man, that food is something else, man. But all praise to the Most High that he woke us up, out of that darkness. So this wisdom that we're talking about today is a gift from the Most High. And as we continue on from the old to the new, which is really no difference to me, but some people, we're going to go to Peter, the rock of the church, right? And this is what it says. For as much then as Hamashiach suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, for he have suffered in the flesh, have ceased from sin. So as the Ahchyam was talking about, you don't eat pork, crab, and shrimp no more because you know that that's what? A sin, a transgression of the law. So you cease from eating that. You don't eat that stuff no more. Verse 2, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. And that's exactly why the Ahchyam of Dorothy shared, I don't eat that no more. The Ahchyam of Adriana, she said, I don't eat that no more. That's why I share, I don't eat that no more. Why? Because we live into the will of the Most High now. We're preparing ourselves for the kingdom to go back home where we belong. And in order to go back home where we belong, we have to prepare ourselves and be ready for who? The bridegroom, our brother, Hamashiach Yahushua, when he comes, that he may marry us as what? A people, a nation, Israel. It says, for the time past of our life, we suffice, may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. Yeah, we live like them, going to their restaurants, going to their places of business, buying their clothes, when we walked in what? Lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it's strange. The people now, they think, those people that knew you before you came into the truth, they think it's strange that you run not with them to the same access of riot, speaking evil of you. Oh, yeah, them, they call themselves an Israelite now. I think they in a cult talking about they can't eat this and they can't eat that. Talking about this, you can't go to church on Sunday. They say something about Shabbat or the Sabbath day. I ain't never heard of such a thing. I've been going to church Sunday all my life. That's what they say. Verse 5, who shall give an account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? For this cause was the gospel preached unto them that were dead, that they might be judged according to man in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the Rakah. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Verse 8, and above all things have a fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Be charitable. If you can help somebody, help them. If it's not gonna hurt you, you know, and you're able to do it, because I know sometimes people will do it. I've seen them, and they're not even able, and they're hurt. They put themselves in a situation for somebody else. And all praises be to the Most High that somebody has a heart like that. All praises, you know. Use hospitality, one to another without grudging. As every man have received the gift, whatever gift you have, whatever gift you were given, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards, right? As good stewards. Whatever gift you have that the Most High has given you from on high, all praises to him. Verse 11, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which the Most High giveth. That's why I tell you all the time, hey, I'm here, I'm doing the thing, I'm doing the work, but the Most High gave me this. He put me in, he could take me out. Only wisdom and understanding I have is come from him. That's why when people, I told you yesterday on the Shabbat, people say, hey, you know, who taught you? Hamashiach Yahawah. Well, I know, you know, but who? Hamashiach. All the honor, glory goes to the Father and Hamashiach Yahawah, because without him, I would know nothing. And we were told in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, it's the Most High, Hamashiach Yahawah, man, women, children. That's the order. So Hamashiach Yahawah is my head. Just like he has a head, which is the Most High. So who did I learn from? Hamashiach Yahawah. That the Most High in all things may be what? Glorified. That's what I'm saying. The Most High is glorified. Through who? Yahawah Hamashiach. To whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Forever and ever. You know, this is in all the epistles. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. You know. Let me see. Khan, they think it's crazy and they despise the truth. That's what they do. They think it's crazy and they despise the truth. You know. But that's okay. Like you said earlier, you know, one thing they can't stop, the sun, the moon, and the truth. And we're going to keep pushing it, you know. Like it says in the book of Matthew, hey, for wide is the gate to destruction, and narrow is the path, but straight is the way, you know. So it's going to be a lot of people that go the wrong way. All we can do is tell people the truth. If the Most High hasn't put it on them to have their ears open, hey, all you can do is do what you're supposed to do. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1. Remember, this is what we're talking about. The wisdom of the Most High Yahawah, the gift that he has given us, right? All of us have gifts. All of us. 1 Corinthians 12 and 1, it says, now concerning spiritual gifts, right? This is what we're talking about today. Spiritual gifts. Brethren, Ahchyam, all of the ahcwathyam out there, I would not have you ignorant. I don't want you to be ignorant. That's why I'm bringing out this lesson today, right? Don't want you to be ignorant. You know that you what? Were Gentiles. You was living like them heathens. You was living like the Gentiles at a point in time in your life. We already talked about that. Eating that pork, crab, shrimp, lobster, right? Buying them clothes. Doing just all kind of stuff. It says, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led. Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaketh by the rakah of the Most High, calleth Yahawah accursed, and that no man can say that Yahawah is the Adawan, but by the Quadash Rakah, the Holy Spirit. So the only way you could say that Hamashiach Yahawah is the Adawan, he is the master, is by the Quadash Rakah. Now I know in church they say that, but those are just words. They don't really mean it because they don't even know they don't even know what it pertains to. And he's not the master of their life, because he said, if I am the master of your life, then you would what? You are my disciple indeed if you follow what? My word. And they don't follow his word. So they're not. They say it, but it's not really their master. You know, just like the Pharisees, they were saying that, they love the Most High. but they really didn't love the Most High. They were hypocrites. So that the Most High was not really their what? Master. Satan was, because they really followed Satan. So don't get confused when you see these people in the churches and they got their Sunday best on, and then they screaming about, Hamashiach Yahushai in English in their churches on Sunday. No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Like he's telling you, we have different functions, different gifts that are being given to us by the what? Same spirit, by the same Rakah. And they're all different of what? Administrations, but the same Adawan. So everybody has different, everybody's not going to be a teacher, right? Some people, as it's going to tell you here, and there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh in all. But the manifestation of the Rakah is given to every man to profit with all. For to one is given by the Rakah the word of what? Wisdom. That's what we're talking about here today. Wisdom that was given from the Most High. For to one is given by the Rakah, the Spirit, the word of wisdom. To another, the word of knowledge. By the same what? Rakah. The same Spirit. To another brother or sister, faith. By the same Rakah. To another, the gifts of what? All these are gifts from on high. From the Most High, your creator, your Abba. Somebody might have a gift of what? Healing. By the same Rakah. To another, the working of miracles. To another person, prophecy. To another, discerning of Rakahs. To another, diverse kinds of tongues, meaning they can speak in different languages. To another, the interpretation of what that person that's speaking in tongues is saying. This is why I mean there are different functions. And a lot of times we don't see that because when people come into the truth, they just be told, hey, you're going to be a teacher, 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 be a... Listen, everybody ain't a teacher. And we know this because Paul is breaking it down about the different gifts that the Most High gives individuals in the body. Remember, Hamashiach Yahushai is the head, and we are the body. And we get these gifts from the Most High. So everybody has a part to play in the body. Just like we have hands, you got fingers, you got ears, you got a tongue, you got a nose, you got lips, you got, thighs, knees. Imagine if you only had one member. It was just a big hand walking around. Or a big eyeball, and you had nothing else. You couldn't hear nothing. You couldn't taste nothing. You couldn't say nothing. It was just the eye looking at you all. That's crazy. Verse 11, but all these work the one and the self-same Rakah, dividing to every man. So the Most High is dividing to each individual the Rakah, the spirit that he wants them to have. So you have to find out what is the Rakah that the Most High has gifted you with, whether it be wisdom, whether it be tongues, whether it be interpretations of the tongues, whether it be miracles, whether it be what? Prophecy, whether it be discerning of spirits, of the Rakahs. These are gifts. It says to another what? The gifts of what? Healing. Some people have knowledge, word of what? The knowledge. Some people get wisdom. It's just what did the Most High deliver to you? What is your gift? And believe me, the Most High has given you a gift. If you walking with the Most High and you had a spirit of the Most High, he has given you a gift. He definitely has. Let me see. The Aqua Thirsty says, just keep trying to live right. 1 Peter 2:15. For so is the will of Yahawah, that with the will doing, ye may put to silence the ignorance of what? Foolish men. All praises be to the Most High. She says. And then she also brings out Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the Shemayim. Everyone, I love that. Everyone has a purpose. So for the believers that's here watching this and may watch this at a later time, Just know that you have a gift that was given to you from your Father and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawah. And you just need to know what it is so you can handle and produce fruit in that gift that was given to you. You know, whether it's wisdom, knowledge, like I said, you can read it all right here in 1 Corinthians 12. Prophecy, miracles, whatever it is, discerning the spirits, tongues, or the interpreter, you know, you just have to know what your gift is. For like she said, everybody that's in the body has a purpose. We have a head, which is Hamashiach Yahawah, but we are the body. And that gift was given to us from on high. And all praises to the Most High that He has given us that gift. You know, let's get it real quick in the book of Hebrews, chapter 2. Turn with me there. We almost done. We almost done. It wasn't going to be a long one today. We almost done. Hebrews chapter 2. We almost done. The water for all those that's still here, that still joined in and did join in today. Hebrews 2:1. It says, therefore we ought to give the more honest heed to the things which we have heard, right? Take heed, really, really feel what's being said in these epistles, in these letters that was given to us in the whole Tanakh, in the Torah, in the writings, and the prophets, right? Therefore, we ought to give the more honest, earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we shall let them slip. For if the word spoken by Malach was steadfast, and every transgression and disobedience receive a just recompense or a reward, how shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation, which at the first began to be spoken by who? The Yahawah, and was confirmed unto us by them that heard Him. The Most High also bearing them witness, both with signs. This is how you know. They said this is how we know that the Most High, he gave them this witness. He bare witness for them with signs, wonders, and with devised miracles and gifts. So we get these gifts from on high. Of who? The Quadash Rakah, the Holy Spirit, according to who? His will. Whose will? The Most High will. The Most High's will. He gives us these gifts, wisdom, knowledge, tongues, all these things. And what is it for? It's for bearing witness. He's letting you know. He's telling you through the Rakah, through the Spirit, I'm with you. You're never alone. I'm with you. I got you. Walk in that authority that I have given you. You are mine. And nobody can take you away from me. Nobody. As we close out, I'm going to go here. Let's go to Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12. Turn there for me. Romans 12. We're going to start it at verse 1. If you have your Bibles open, please turn there. As the sister said, once again, everybody has a purpose. Everybody. Don't let nobody lie to you, tell you something different. Everybody has a purpose. You know, I cold-heartedly believe that. As she said right here in Ecclesiastes 3:1. Let me just put that on the screen real quick. For everything, there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, under the Shemayim. I'm in the NLT, but you know, you get it. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to harvest. There's always a time. Your time is now. Your time is now. How do we know this? In Romans chapter 12, verse 1, a living sacrifice to the Most High. He says, and I got it in the NLT, so nobody can run from this. Nobody. Here we go. And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to the Most High because of all He has done for us. For us. Let them be a living and Quadash sacrifice, the kind He will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship Him. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, as we were talking about earlier, right? We spoke about a lot of it earlier. Don't copy the behavior and custom of this world, but let the Most High transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. It's okay to change. It's okay. We've been taught as men, you got to be hard, you got to be this, you got to be that. Man, it's okay to change, especially when it's for the good of the Most High. Then you will learn to know Elohim's will for you. You will understand the gift that he has given you. This is what Paul is saying. Then, once you start thinking differently, you will understand the will and learn what the will of the Most High that he has for the purpose that you have been here on this earth, that he put you here on this earth, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Because of the privilege and authority the Most High has given me, I give each of you this warning. Here's the warning for all of us. Don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourself, measuring yourself by the faith of the Most High has given us. Right? You gotta understand where you are. Like he said, be honest with yourself. Don't lie to your own self. Be honest with yourself. Just as our bodies have many parts, and each part has a special function, so it is with Hamashiach's body, which we are. We are his body. We are many parts of one body, and we belong to each other. I hope you guys know that. We belong to one another. We are brothers and sisters in one body. We belong to one another. In his grace, the Most High has given us different what? Gifts. So yes, wisdom, if you have wisdom, that's a gift from the Most High Yahawah. If you're kind-hearted, if you're giving, which is charity, whatever it is, the Most High has given you that gift from on high. In his grace, the Most High has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if the Most High, Elohim, has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as the Most High has given you. If he gave you to prophesy, prophesy. If your gift, remember, this is what the lesson is about, gift. That's why I say I'll prove it to you in the Bible that we have gifts from on high, from the Most High. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, that's a gift, to encourage other people. Hey, Ak, you could do it. Hey, sister, you could do it. You could do it. I know you could do it, Call on me. I'll be there. I'll be there with you. I'll go with you. I'll help you. I'll pick you up. I'll drop you off. Whatever it is. Come on, you could do it. That's somebody that's encouraging you. If that's a gift that's given to you that you find joy in helping people and encouraging them to do those things, that's a gift from on high. And Paul says, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. Some people like to give, and it makes them happy to help people and give. And he said, if that's your gift, because that is a gift, and a lot of people don't think that that's a gift when you give. That's a gift. Paul says, give generously. If the Most High has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility serious. And a lot of our Ahchyam are not taking the responsibility seriously. They get these titles, but are you really taking the responsibility seriously? Especially in what? Leadership. Especially. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. Don't just pretend to love others. Don't just pretend. Really love them. Hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. Love. Verse 10. Love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. Never be lazy, but work hard to serve the Yahawah enthusiastically. Always be ready to serve the Most High and his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Like the Bible says, you can never go too far. You can never do enough. Never, ever, ever, ever. Never do enough. So you just keep pushing forward. Verse 12, rejoice in our confident hope. Be patient in trouble and keep on praying. Keep on praying. Keep on praying. Give praises, honor, glory, esteem to the Most High. He said, keep on praying. Keep on praying. Keep pushing forward. And that's what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. With that, I'm going to close out with that. Let's see if we got anything in the chat. Aqua Dorothy said, everyone has a purpose, Khan. And then she said, Khan, true worship, no lip service, Khan. You know, that's what it's about. And all praise to the Most High. He put this on the record to come out today. And I'm thankful, you know, because even a lot of times when we do these lessons, you know, I go back and reflect on it myself because it's the spirit, it's the Rakah talking, you know, and sometimes when I do lessons, it's for me too. That's why I say that double-edged sword, that's why it's called a double edge. It swings everywhere. I'm not exempt. Hey, it cut me sometimes just like it cut you. And then when I get off of this live, I got to go and look at myself in the mirror like, man, wait a minute. Okay, Most High, I know that was a lesson, but I got something out of it. You know, maybe that was for me. You know, look at yourself in the mirror. So that sword swing all different ways. And all praises to the Most High that he's like that. They don't have no partiality. He don't have no favorites, you know. He just wants you to obey his word. Obey his will. Do his will, you know, and give praises to him. Honor, glory, and respect to him. But I just want you to realize and know that, you know, you do have the gift. You just have to know what your gift is. It may be wisdom. It may be giving. It may be loving. It may be charity. You know, just know what your gift is and do all that you can do with the gift that he has given you from above, you know. So with that, I give all praises, honor, glory, esteem to the Most High Yahawah. Hopefully this message was edifying. If you believe in your heart and in your mind that this message was edifying, please share it with someone so they may get edified, right? That's why we do this. And there was a lot of good information in here because, you know, a lot of the ahcwathyam, especially, they shared a lot of information and testimony. So, you know, if you believe it was good, like I said, share it. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. So when we go live, you know, through the week, I do Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. on the West Coast time, I would say. So Tuesdays and Thursdays. And, you know, we always doing Shabbat. And I do want to start trying to do the first day of the week, which is today, but it'll be in the evening time because it's the first day of the week. And the apostles broke bread first day of the week, you know. So we're going to break bread first day of the week, you know. And that's just how it's going to go. We give praise and honor again to the Father, the Ancient of Days, the giver of life, the taker of life, our Father, your Father, and his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushai, call Allah Yahawah Ba Shema Mashiach Yahushai, Kwam Yasharallah. And I see you Tuesday, 10 a.m. The water for being here. Everybody that's here and it tuned in, especially all the ahcwathyam that was here, the water for being here. And I see you Tuesday at 10 a.m. The Aqua Adriana said, very beautiful, edifying class. Khan. All praises be to the Most High, the water. And then the Aqua Dorothy, she says, Hallelujah, Shalawam family. And then the Aqua Adriana said, the water, Khan. The water, ahcwathyam for being here. You know, like I said, the Most High brought us together. We one body, we one family. We just a brotherhood. The water. The words can't even express, you know. Words don't even express what it really is behind it. Words are uttered, but, you know, like he said, it's from the heart. So all praises. And I see you. If you're able to tune in Tuesday, 10 a.m., Thursday, 10 a.m., or the Shabbat, just tune in. We'll be live. Yahawah willing. If he wake me up, we'll be live. All praises. And you enjoy the rest of your day or night on this first day. So enjoy the rest of the night. See you Tuesday, 10 a.m. Shalawam.